Welcome to the show. You're watching the Fox Business Network. Let's get right at it with Texas Congressman Michael Burgess. Okay, your reaction to the president saying that the border is sick, it's dangerous, but now we've got Texas Democrats Gonzalez and Fela saying the border's not in chaos, that the governor of Texas should focus on the Texas power grid instead. What do you say to that?
Well, look, the photos that you have been showing, the B-roll that you've been showing, clearly the border is not secure. People are passing across the border with virtually no one interfering with their passage. It is good that the former president is down on the border. It was a mistake, I think, for the vice president to miss that opportunity when, after all, this is in her sphere of responsibility. But I'm very grateful that the president did take his own time to go to the border to highlight the problems that we have in Texas with the fact that the federal government is not performing its function of securing the border. Governor Abbott is required to keep Texans safe, and the federal government's not doing their job, so Governor Abbott is stepping in and doing it for them, and it's the right thing to do.
Got it. Thank you. We hear you on that. Let's listen to former President Trump at the border today. Watch this.
And now we have an open, really dangerous border, more dangerous than it's ever been in the history of our country. All Biden had to do is go to the beach. If he would have just done nothing, we would have now the strongest border we've ever had.
And so now you've got Texas moving to build its own wall, make its own arrests, guard its own border. You got at least 5 states, including South Dakota, Florida, Nebraska, having to send law enforcement to help out. What do you say?
Well, it should not be Texas' responsibility to provide the defense for the remainder of the nation. But again, Governor Abbott is stepping up and doing what it is required of him to do. As far as finishing the wall or building the wall, look, I flew over vast portions of that just a few weeks ago after the Biden administration withdrew all of the activity with building the wall, literally walked off the job. Contractors walked off the job, leaving equipment and tools on the ground. Now, Texas is going to take the responsibility for securing those portions that had been almost finished, but not quite. Look, the border wall is, it does work in the areas where it is continuous. And the president, the last president, President Trump, was correct in identifying it as a national security crisis, securing the funding for it. The current administration was wrong to just arbitrarily abdicate that, and the consequences. I mean, here's the problem. Every time that a decision like that is made in Washington, D.C., the cartels, the child traffickers down in Central America, they monetize that. They use that to induce and encourage people to make that dangerous journey to the southern border, saying, we'll get you across to the land of plenty where then they'll take care of you. But the poor people the pictures of people left stranded on the side of the road, that's just wrong.
We hear you. You know, the House Democrats are moving to defund $2 billion away from the border wall that was already appropriated by Congress. They're moving to take about $930 million away from Border Patrol, also about $1.5 million away from ICE. So, you know, this is at a time when we have about the size of the population of Nebraska potentially crossing. So that is also happening too. So what do you think? What are Republicans going to do about Democrats moving to defund border security?
Well, look, of course, we are coming up to our appropriations time, and it is important to direct the dollars where they need to go for the purpose of Homeland Security and the defense of our nation. But it's also important that people understand that it has never been this bad. I've been making trips to the border now since one of the first migrant surges back in 2014. I've never seen it as bad as it is right now. And this administration has to recognize just how much jeopardy they're placing the American people in by not responding to their responsibility.
Congressman Michael Burgess, thanks for joining us. It's good to see you.
Thanks, Liz.